This is a video about
social media expert Gary Vaynerchuk.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
What do you want in your life?
how Gary Vaynerchuk nearly cost me £1 million.
I think advice is a really stupid thing.
Thank God I'm alive.
Parkour.
Charity event that I'm going to be a part of. If they were still alive. Keep your shoes. Come on. No one else is here. Who gives you the right? When Gary Vaynerchuk speaks, young marketeers and young entrepreneurs like me listen. And that's a problem. The reason it's a problem is because we're young, we're ambitious, and we want to be successful. But before I get into the nitty-gritty of why I love or why I hate Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm going to rewind back to 7 AM this morning so you can watch this 27-year-old British guy try to do the unthinkable and run 3 businesses at once. So I'm in Soho in London. It is 7:53 AM. I'm by the office, I'm about to go in. Before I do, I wanna tell you something. And listen, I'm not trying to make you upset. I'm not trying to make you emotional. I'm not trying to make you sad. But if I did have the opportunity to make you feel a bit grateful, I would take it. And so here is me shooting my shot. Essentially what I want you to do is just think of one person who you love more than anything who sadly passed away. And now ask yourself this one question. If they were still alive, what would they do today? If they had 24 hours, would they be stuck at home? Would they be doing nothing all day? Would they be sat feeling sorry for themselves? Absolutely not. They would be running around the streets of London with their arms like this, screaming, thank God I'm alive. So, where does that leave us? Why am I starting the day with this thought? Because I woke up like I'm in a bloody video game thinking, yes, come on, I have been given one more day. So with all of that in mind, I'm gonna go in there and have a really fun day. Why? Because I've been given another 24 hours, so I might as well make it count. It's 8 AM now. I have got around 7 people coming to work with me today. They'll be arriving in around an hour, and I have around 7 hours of work to do in the next hour. I'm gonna be sending a lot of emails. I'm gonna be writing several to-do lists. I'm gonna be responding to some WhatsApp messages, LinkedIn messages, might even go on Twitter and respond to a message there. Joking, nobody messages me on Twitter. Can you show me something that...
Yeah, you can see this. This is basically what I would show a footballer. So there are footballers that know exactly what they want. There's footballers that have no idea.
And so who's an example of a recent footballer that has come to you and said, hey, I want you to do my shoes?
Enzo Fernandez at Chelsea just moved from Benfica to Chelsea for 150.
Oh, so it's like a massive hire.
But no, I met with him and he's a lovely, like, super lovely guy, so.
Right, so it is currently 9:51 AM. I've seen the first 3 people who are here for co-working and the others will come later in the day, then we'll get lunch together. But now that it's 9:53, I need to get a move on. Specifically, I need to get a move on with the brainstorm that I'm doing right now, because in 6 minutes time now, I have a call with the person editing this video. I said to Sabu and I said to Ryan, and I said to myself, come to this call with a list of things that we can't currently do. We are gonna ask ourselves the question, what needs to be true for us to create 80+ world-class videos within the next 6 weeks? It's an impossible task, right? To do world-class in that amount of time. But when you think about something through the lens of you can't do it, and you accept that you can't do it, it makes it really easy to understand why. Well, we can't do it because we don't have enough editing capacity. We haven't even rebranded the channel yet. We don't understand the best way and system for sharing big HD heavy video footage from one place to another. Then we take them from a problem and a challenge to a consideration, which is much lighter to work with. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a fun call.
So I just finished my call with Joe, Sabu, and Nicole, and I figured rather than have you watch us for 1.5 hours talk, I would give a quick summary of what we said. I'm Ryan, by the way, Joe's editor. And what we realized was, in order for us to actually produce 80 pieces of world-class content, we need to have a system in place that allows us to maximize the things that we are all best at and minimize the things that we're not. When I started working for Joe, I would record all of the videos that he would record in a day and then sort through them and put the footage into individual folders. Now this sorting process alone took me about 1.5 to 2 hours depending on how much footage there was. And when I talked to Joe about this, we figured that his amazing assistant Giselle could also do this. She could sort everything into their appropriate folders and all I'd have to do is download everything, which would in turn save me 1.5 hours. Now this sounds like a small thing, but when you pile up all of these 1% tasks, you quickly realize that you spend a lot of time on things that you're not necessarily best at, which in turn limits our ability to produce 80 pieces of world-class content per week. And with that being said, back to Joe, who's about to have a call with David to talk about a charity that Joe is going to be a part of.
It is 10:59. He's never late, but he's always in a rush. Can we make it? Can we make it? Can we make it? Ah, no one else is here. Come on. David, hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing, Joe?
Wow, that was fun meeting. The meeting was around a charity event that I'm going to be a part of, and it has a real focus on social mobility. You just put your OBC, your one big challenge on the wall. Will you walk us over and show us why?
Yeah, currently my challenge is productization. So at the moment with my company, I sell my time and my what's between my brain, which is great, but I need to now transfer that into a product, and I don't have the skills yet to do that, and so I want to learn from others.
Nicole's got some great stuff on that. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
This is the way that my brain works.
Okay, everyone ready for lunch? 2 minutes? Yeah. I went for a run on Saturday morning, and I said to my friend who I was meeting for lunch, please bring me some shoes. She said, what? I said, please bring me some shoes. I said, why? I said, I'm sopping wet, please will you just bring me something. So she brought me socks and she brought me shoes. And then she said, keep shoes. I said, what? She said to her husband, she was like, well, you don't even wear them, do I? And he was like, I don't even wear them, do I? So he just gave me the shoes. Guys, we're going here.
Why do you believe in yourself?
I like, first of all, the way you asked it, because the way you asked it almost has a hint of how dare you. Who gives you the right, the audacity to believe in yourself? I think the real reason I believe in myself is because my mum believed in me and she showed me what that looks like. There's a whole world of conversation there. I think the reason I believe in myself is because I proved to myself I can. I was in bottom sets at school, and I proved to myself that, yeah, I actually can do well in this paper, and I actually can, if I revise, do well in the exam. And hey, what? I actually can move up in sets, and I actually can apply to a good university. But hold on a minute, I actually can be the guy who puts his hand up and says, I want to apply to one of the best universities in the world, I want to apply to Cambridge. Right, what is one thing that you believe to be true that everybody else thinks is not true?
You know what? I don't know. I think advice is a really stupid thing, because ultimately you are the expert of your own life, even your mind and body. No offense, I think you're more of an expert than a doctor is. Fully believe that. I fully believe that. I actually think it's made humans copies instead of their unique selves.
I remember clearly the moment we hit £1 million a year ARR for our business, and it was a huge moment. However, the thing that nearly lost me everything was following Gary Vaynerchuk's advice without actually recognizing that whilst he was on page 75 of his third book, I was on page 17 of my first book. In other words, his advice as somebody running a £200 million a year agency was entirely different to my reality, but I accepted it as a lot of young people do without really questioning where it came from. Now, let's be honest, of course, there's a bit of clickbait to this, right? I wanted to get in front of Gary Vee's audience, people like you, because people like you want to be better than they were last week, and that is a person like me. So that is why I have used the most wonderful human, one of the best marketers, social media superstar guru Gary Vaynerchuk as a little bit of a pull in my title. But to be really clear, set the record straight, I owe so much to that guy. I can't complain. That was a pretty good day. My brain is so fried right now, I've got no clue what happened today, but you do because you've just watched it. It's been a pleasure. On to the next one. See you soon.